Welcome to Barely Begun. Today I'm going to talk about how I lowered my A1C from 8.5 to 4.7. You can do this too. Quickly, easy, safely, with some diet changes.
You sound awfully definite about this. I can't afford not to be, not where your health is concerned. That's why I took all these tests.
If you're taking any medication for diabetes, you absolutely need to work with your medical professional because the diet changes are very quick. I mean, it can change within a day, 2 days, 3 days, and you'll need to adjust your medication appropriately. So if you're taking medication, don't do this on your own. It can drop drastically.
I don't know if I'll buy that.
Your A1C is not just a number. Your A1C is basically fresh every 3 months. Get a 4.7, that means 4.7 of your hemoglobin is sugar. So in January 2019, my A1C was 6.4, which is technically pre-diabetes. By the end of that year, at December 2019, it was 6.1. So I was never that worried about it.
Now, wait a minute. Only a jerk would act like that. A complete idiot.
In January 2021, my A1C came back 7.0. That was the first time I had a reading that was in the diabetic range. They consider that well managed if you're 7.0-ish. So again, I didn't really take it seriously. I started Googling a little bit and found something that said, oh, you need 3 tests in a row that say you're diabetic. If you search hard enough in Google, you can find anything that will say what you want it to. And so that's pretty much what I did. I found what I wanted so that I could keep ignoring it.
Finding a new doctor sounds like a better answer to me.
But I was certainly able to rationalize away any concerns on my own part until this point. In April of this year, 4 months ago, my A1C came in at 8.5, undeniable.
You've got to face up to reality.
Not extreme, but definitely serious. My doctor wanted to put me on medication, but gave me that option when I asked for a few months to see what I could do. The best thing that I can tell you is to test. Test, test, test. Every day, multiple times. Learn what food does for you.
I wanted to be sure of my ground before I reached my final diagnosis.
So I took especially the weekends to really test a lot throughout the day. First thing in the morning, before my first meal, shortly, like half hour after my first meal. So I could do 6 to 10 tests in a day, but you learn exactly what's happening with each type of food. I would isolate foods a little bit more to specifically test them. If your blood sugar is spiking up and then coming down, and at 2 hours it's back to normal or within a close range of that, you want the full story. You want to know what happened to your blood sugar in the middle. Because if your blood sugar is spiking radically up and then your body pulls it down, yes, that's good that your body can do that.
I wish that were all there was to it.
But it's also putting a lot of stress on your body. Your pancreas is having to work really hard to do that. By the time you realize your A1C is in a diabetic range, your pancreas is exhausted.
Not a bunch of crazy theories.
So I went gradually. At first, obviously, I just cut out sugar, recreational sugar, sometimes it's called. And then I added more fruit in, thinking, oh, that's healthy, right? And I chose bananas, grapes, which are the highest sugar fruit. Small step in the right direction, but I soon discovered that those things were still raising my blood sugar quite a lot.
You're only cutting your own throat when you act this way.
An apple will raise my blood sugar 50 points.
Well, now I've got my proof.
Carbohydrates turn into sugar in your bloodstream. Your body converts carbs to sugar. whether that be vegetable sugars, potato sugars, rice, grains, legumes, seeds, all those carbs. To your body, it's all sugar.
They all spell trouble, too. That's why it's so important to start treatment as soon as possible.
Low carb is anything below 150 grams of carbohydrates a day. Both paleo and keto cut out grains, legumes, flours, that sort of thing. Paleo has more fruit and no dairy. Keto has dairy, almost no fruit, some berries. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I do because what I do works for me. You need to find out what works for you. And you're not a carbon copy of anybody else. So test your blood sugar. Find out what you can tolerate.
I think that, Steve, you wait a minute. What you think has no bearing whatever on your condition.
So you want to find the spot that works for you, keeping in mind that that spot is a moving target. What works for you today might not work for you tomorrow. What's unthinkable to give up today might be easy 6 months from now. You want to heal yourself metabolically, and maybe after 3 years, you'll find you have more tolerance. Maybe it won't matter by then. 4.7. I was so gratified to see that what I have been doing, the changes I've been making, have really come through. That's better than most people's A1C. I hope you found this educational to take control of your own blood sugar. If it helped you feel confident about what to do next, give it a paws up. Be healthy. High paw.